We are about to run our first hot foil live on camera for customers right through the machine. And I hope I did it slow enough, because that's one thing that we've been told, it needs to go slow. So let's just see what we have here. Let's flip. And then this is gold foil. And when we remove, ta-da! Look at those amazing embossed words, my friends. We're going to be using this on one of our projects coming up here. And just take a look at the amazing job that does. It embosses all of these, or it foils all of these words at once. And then I have a magnetic piece that I use to take my hot die off, and then I release, and that can go and cool while we take a look at this awesomeness that we just did. Hot foil is coming your way on Friday. And this is just one of the many dies, hot foil dies, that you will be able to purchase at that time. It is Sweetly Sentimental, and it's got the hot foil die as well as a die that cuts them out. So we are going to use that one as well. So I'm going to pull that one up. And this is just a regular die. This is not, you do not want to try to foil with this. That's not its purpose. And so we are, hi Joan, we are just going to regular cut now using our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So this part isn't really anything new, but you will be able to see how slick the die is that comes with this particular hot foil die. Okay, so we just put that on there. We add our die, line everything up, and then run it through. I just moved it. Go figure. It's an exciting day, my friends. It's What's Up Stampers Plus. We are going to be using 3 brand new mini embossing folders. Great for the upcoming seasons of fall and, of course, Halloween and Christmas. So here we have all of our sentiments cut out at the same time. The sentiments that we have hot foiled. So you can see here the shiny gold foil. We will have coming your way foil in gold, silver, and rose gold. So those are the 3 so far as we start a new chapter in Stampin' Up's line of products. So that is how I wanted to start our time together this afternoon. I will be showing you the process of hot foiling from beginning to end. But this again is the Sweetly Sentimental hot foil dies. And it bundles with the Sweetly Sentimental stamp set. So you can bundle those together, or you can make a separate purchase. If you're not going to invest in hot foil, you can still purchase the stamp sets starting on Friday midnight Mountain Time. So that's pretty cool. It fits in the big machine, and Melinda, I will be sharing that process in the second half of our time together. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and this is what fits right through our machine. And here is, because it gets warm, it has to rest on that silicone while it's heating. But we'll talk more about that, like I said, in the second half of today. But also, we are going to have a What's Up Stampers Plus solely on the Hot Foil system. And that will be coming up. I'm going to do it in August unless we sell out quickly. Then I will postpone. But for now, plan on our August What's Up Stampers Plus to be the Hot Foil system. Today we're just going to get into it a little bit, and I'm going to explain some things about it. But our focus today are these amazing embossing folders, which I've buried now successfully. Good job, Amy. We can always count on you to bury things. But we will need them because we are using them today. So this one is our Halloween one. And I'm sorry, I'm dealing with something stupid that I did here. And then there's also a candy cane folder. Hopefully I can find them here because there they are. All right, so we have a candy cane folder, and we also have a leaves folder. Hi, Myrna here. We are excited to be working with these 3 folders today. I'm going to show you a few little technique-y things with the folders. We're going to make a card for each of the folder. Out from this past weekend, Stamped Together Saturday. And we are using some new designer series paper. So you can bet that today, as we are creating, you're going to see a lot of new products that came out recently. And we're going to start with that Halloween DSP, designer series paper. This is the one that I chose to work with for today. It has that orangey background with the black trees. Pretty cool. Then on the flip side, we have a starry night sky. Here is the one from which I cut my little ghosts. So we've got a whole background of ghosts and the webs on the back side. So this is available now in our online store. We've got ghosts and cats and bats and some really cute stars on the orange side. Speaking of cats, we have here some great cats with stripes on the back. We have another ghost. Hi, Shirley. Great to have you. And then on the back of the black background ghosts, we have orange background webs. And then we have this one, same design as the orange that we're using, but in black. And again, the same starry design on the other side in orange. So the colors in here are basic black, basic gray, pumpkin pie, timid tiger, very vanilla. And we are going to make a pretty simple card with this one. But remember, our focus today is on these 3 embossing folders. I did a little hot foiling as we came in to create some sentiments. That's for a later project. In case you are reading comments, Joan said she's seen foil by other brands, and yes, it is our turn. And It is the first system of this type that has been released, and for customers, it is coming on Friday. Woo! I've got our layout from Stamp Together Saturday with a 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch piece of basic white. And this fits perfectly here. 3 inches is about the width of our small folders. And I am going to add color using our brayer. Actually, no, I'm not, because I don't want to dirty that. I'm just going to use the Memento pad, and I'm going to just put ink on our bats. And we're going to rough that up a little because the ink isn't, the ink is, it's not terrible, but the ink, you can tell the ink is kind of beading off of it. So we're going to do that little bit of inking there. We're going to add our white, close that up. Note that these embossing folders fit great through the mini machine. So if you are a mini machine owner, these work great in there. And all you need for your Big Boss is your base plate, plate number 3, your folder, plate number 3. Then we're going to run that through. Hi, Jan. Hi, Maggie. Barcelona. What time is it in Barcelona? I'm guessing it's about 7 hours ahead, maybe 8, 7. Yeah, that's what I would guess. So here we've got our debossed bats and stars that we're going to use with our card. You could do the brayer. It would be a little bit cleaner, and I'm actually okay with what this looks like, simply because you've got that, it's Halloween. You've got that kind of dark, raspy, I don't know the terms I'm trying to find, but I don't mind that look on here. If you used a brayer, like I said, it would be a little bit more clean. But this is good for our card because we've got this gray background with the stars. And then we're going to add our embossed bats and stars. We're going to bring that here. Then we're going to add this piece. You recognize, hi Melinda, you recognize this layout perhaps from Saturday's Stamp Together. And then we are going to add our ghosts. So here we're going to do some Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of our ghosts so that they get popped up. So I fussy cut these. Grunge, that's what I'm looking for. That's the word. They're grungy. Grungy. I said raspy. I don't know. Grungy. Totally. I have been struggling with words so bad. Terry's like, are you okay? And honestly, my answer is I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm okay. But words are a problem for sure lately. Last night, there were like 3 times where I started a sentence and he's like, yeah? Yeah, I can't think of the word. It's just whatever. So we're going to put our ghosts, and they are cute ghosts. They're not scary. They're not scary at all. And we're going to add a sentiment. And again, when I started off today with some hot foiling, I buried something. So let me grab this. And these are some of our Greetings for All Mix and Match ephemera. And I often have a hard time figuring out how to use the black. And so I'm going to see if we've got a nice Happy Halloween there. And I feel like there might be another one, so I'm just going to look. I don't know if I've got them all. I don't know if I've got this one out here, so let me look. No Happy Halloween. Oh yeah, the same one. Okay, that's the one I'll use then. Perfect. I was thinking about what I wanted to use for my sentiment. And I just, at the last second, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to grab these because I think that will be excellent. All right, so, oh my gosh, Carla, I don't know. I lost my dad a year ago, and my mom and I are super close. And I'm like, I'm trying not to think about the fact that she's 88 this year because, yeah, I get it. I'm going to have a bit of a hard time. Look how cute this is, though, friends. So cute. And then if you wanted to, you could add some of our new embellishments. Look at those bats and ghosts. And they are not flat, by the way. They do have a little bit of bulk to them. These, however, well, they aren't foam, but I'm thinking I want to use some of those in black. So I'm going to pull this out, and I'm just going to add dots in black because I can. And then I'm going to add one little bat flying here, and the ghost is going na boo boo to the bat. Can't you picture it? Can't you picture it? So yes, there is some bulk to those. Another idea for these that I was thinking would be really fun is to take the little adhesive piece off the back and use them as a shaker. I think it could really make a cute shaker card. I love adhesive backed embellishments, but sometimes I'm like, man, if you didn't put adhesive on the back of that, especially these, I could have really had fun playing with those. But I likely won't putz enough to take the adhesive off. But all right, so there's card number 1. Just taking ink to the folder. And I know he's so cute, isn't he? So cute. Ink to the folder technique on this one. So easy, something if you've got the tools for the embossing folder, you will likely have ink as well that you can use on them. So just a real simple technique that is easy to, think about this card. I used ink on the folder, but the rest was all just part of the designer series paper. And then actually, I think I really like how, what size that sentiment is. I think it's perfect. So yes, card number 1, we are in the books. And, when we start some technique-y things here in just a second, I would like to share with you the first step in hot foiling, and that is to plug in your platform. It's a magnetic plug-in, and you can see the red light is blinking. That's because it just means that it is heating. So I'm going to put it on my silicone mat over here, and then we will likely hear it beep when it is ready. And then when I'll just let it sit there until we're ready for it for our next project. But we're going to do a few other things while we wait for that. So I'm going to start with a piece of very vanilla cardstock. And I cleaned up my desk, which is really, really unfortunate. No, it's a very good thing. But now I don't have any, here, this will work. I don't have any grid paper sitting here. Hi, Jessie. Hi, Anna. It's good to see you. And then we're going to see how the leaf embossing folder, all the detail in there, so pretty. Now we're going to do a technique that is kind of a popular one. And I just have to find my, when you clean up, my friends, it's dangerous because you're like, where is everything? Okay, here. We're going to add color to our folder, or to the embossed piece of cardstock. And we're going to use some Cajun Craze because, everyone, Amy loves fall. Amy loves fall leaves. And so we're going to do some Cajun Craze, crushed curry, and cherry cobbler. So opening up our cherry cobbler first, we're going to take our Stampin' Blends. And we're just going to start blending, and I'm going to get dark. So I'm going to just keep going over it. And it's going to be really fun. So, are you ready for these products? The fall, the Christmas, the Halloween. Are you ready for that stuff, or do you think it's too early? Here's a little backstory on that. So we used to have our Halloween products in the September to December mini catalog. What would happen is September, we would run out of Halloween products and not be able to get them in again before September, or before October, before Halloween. And so the decision was made after demonstrators were like, can't we do this differently? The decision was made to do an earlier release of the Halloween. And it makes me so happy because there's plenty of time for it to get back in stock if necessary. And that is just a good thing. It just needed to happen. So that is why it's so early. Now, the reason for Christmas right now, that's the Cajun Craze. We're going to flip now to crushed curry. Is, as many of you know, a lot of Joan says she's ready. That a girl, Joan. Christmas in July. I mean, I do Christmas in July. You're going to see, it's too late to sign up for my Christmas in July class, but you're going to see that I'll be doing a few Christmas in July videos of some new designs with new products. And you got to do it. You got to start early, right? So that was the intention of these early release products. And, there's always going to be a time for flowers and things like that. And so it's all good, I think. All good. All right, we're going to take, just heard it. It is ready over there, friends. Hot foil is ready. So it'll be ready when we get there, but we have some things to do first. I have something on there. Okay, I'm going to flip so that these pointy things on my brayer are facing up, and I'm just going to go crazy with early espresso ink, and then I'm going to run this over. Check it out. Okay, I am so sorry, but is there anything better than a pretty fall leaf? I can't stand it. It is just so beautiful. So I took my early espresso ink and used my brayer to put that ink over the raised part of our folder. So let's recap. Usually we use our folder so that the images pop up on us. Both of the first two cards we did differently. We did the debossing side, and I just love that technique because it's just so, I don't know. It's another word thing, right? I don't know. It's just so beautiful. I can't stand it. Okay. So that is one of the techniques. I'm sadly not making a card with this, but I will because, I mean, look. And the hot foil sentiments that we cut out would be really pretty on there as well. I'm like, this is just too much for words. This right here, friends, that is fabulous. All right, next we are going to try a little different technique with our folder, and that will be, we're going to do some coloring right on our folder, okay? So the way we're going to do that is the same way we did it on here. We're going to use our these our blending brushes. Oh, good heavens, I'm telling you. Okay, so this time we have a basic beige piece of cardstock, and we're gonna color both sides. And the reason is we're going to see what we end up liking better. So we're going to take our blending brush, and we're just going to color right on our folder. Same way we did with the other piece, but not on the cardstock, on the folder instead. It will be automatically a little bit lighter than the paper we made because of the way ink takes to plastic. All right, then we're going to go over here on the other side, and we're going to rub over these images here the same way. Thanks, Debbie. Aw. I was wondering if people are watching out there. Are you just mesmerized, or what's happening? What's happening in the world of Facebook Watch today? Just wondering. It's been a very busy day for me. Work was a little bit crazy, my day job. And then I came home and immediately came down and made sure I had everything ready, because I knew that using the hot foil today would just add another layer of preparation. So I actually felt pretty prepared when I came live today, which honestly is a challenge some days. I am going to be a grandmother very soon. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, what do I need to do to kind of be ready? I'm not the parent, but I feel like there's still an element of preparation involved. And for those of you who are grandmas, like, did you do anything to prepare, or did you just wait? Like, I don't know. Should I start an album I have 2 grandkids coming, one soon and the other early October. And I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I need to prep in some way, shape, or form. So give me your tips, because I don't know. I you know, this is a first time for me, and I don't want to do, and I bet some of you can back me up on this. I don't want to do anything for these first two that I'm not going to be able to keep doing, right? So we'll see. We'll see what you say, if you have any words of wisdom. Okay, next up, I'm just going to spritz both sides of the folder a little bit, and that is to make sure the ink is wet and ready. Then we're going to run this through. Thanks, ladies. Oh, I can't wait to be a grandma. And they're both very close by, so I'm loving that. And my husband is too. All right, so here is a real different look at these leaves. Here's the debossed side, and here is the embossed side. So yes, tell me what you prefer. Embossed or debossed? Debossed is pushed down. That's what that means. And I think it's a word. I've heard it used in our circles, so I'm pretty sure. But again, I'm not going to make a card with this specific piece today, but you know I'm going to, because it is so beautiful. And here so far are the first two leaf techniques that I wanted to share with you. But I have another, and this one we are going to actually use on our card. So I've already taken the liberty of embossing this early espresso piece that is, oh wait, not this one. Shoot. Sorry. Okay. Backtrack. Sidetrack. I gotta get my pieces out here. Okay. Here's the one I want to do this to, not that one. I have embossed this piece, which is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And okay, I'm getting votes in. You are saying you like the embossed side better than the debossed. There's more color for sure, right? So I have embossed this piece of pecan pie, but I want you to notice it doesn't fit quite in here. So I left a seam down the middle. So I sent it through the machine like this, and then I sent it through the machine like this, with it inside, but it's wet and dirty, so I'm obviously not going to do that. And then, isn't that fun, Melinda? I know, I'm going to be a grandma. And if you saw my post last week about Versamark, I did give a Versamark ink pad away to somebody who is very, very much in need of one. I had everybody post their ugly Versamark pads, and so I got one out to the lucky winner. But I found this underneath a whole bunch of stuff that when I was cleaning, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, do I dare use it today? I think I do. We're gonna add a little Versamark. I just dragged it through, and then with my copper embossing powder, we're going to sprinkle that on there and see what gets picked up by that Versamark that I used. This is the old copper embossing powder. Oh, he said, I'm hot too long, my friends. He had to turn off. All right. Oh, okay. This is going just fabulously. But see how I, and actually, in hindsight, I wouldn't have had to emboss the whole thing, but that's how this is going right now. So we're doing it. And then we're just going to clean that up really quick and get that put back. All right, so this is the old copper embossing powder. I had lots of it, so I haven't ordered the newer Wow embossing powder yet. Let's get that put away before I make it even a bigger mess. And then I'm going to grab my heat tool. So what we found out today is that there is a limit to the length of time my hot foil machine wants to stay hot. This is a new discovery for me. All right. So in the meantime, we're going to emboss this piece. And I've got my reverse tweezers here, ready for action. So what we've done here now is I know I have like 3 embossing trays. I know. We're doing a double emboss. So we did heat emboss combined with our embossing folder. And like I said, I wouldn't have had to do them all, and you'll see why in a little bit. But we're going to heat that, get that all ready to roll. It's so pretty. And I have to mention also that this technique is also not one of those perfect ones. It is meant to, pick up, and it's okay if the middle isn't quite done. It's meant to pick up some of the, oh my gosh, words. And, the embossing powder is meant to just hit those spots that the Versamark did, and depending on how careful you are with the Versamark, it's going to affect your results. All right, so I am plugging back in our machine here, and we will once again just let it wait. Let it get hot. And in the meantime, I am going to do a little assembly here of my card. So first, I'm going to set the vanilla aside because we are going to do some foiling on this vanilla. And Debbie, you're right. It is good that it shuts off on its own because, let's be honest. If I can't think of words, how am I going to remember to turn that thing off when it's getting too hot? Okay, so we have a piece of, I got some ink on there, of crumb cake cardstock. Yes, I will think of the word, I promise, on that one. Crumb cake onto pecan pie, especially if it's food, I'm going to remember. Let's face it. If it's food related, we're good to go. Yes, a little distressed, and it's just pretty. You've got, I could have chosen to do gold. I chose to do copper on there. I probably should have chosen to do gold now in hindsight, but that's okay. We're learning as we go here with the hot foil especially. And I wasn't thinking about the hot foil being gold, but okay. All right, so we've got these layers going on, as well as our emboss layer. And remember that I had a seam down the middle, and I want that seam going horizontally. So I just want to make sure my seam is going this way. And then I've got these beautiful leaves. So let's talk about these. I did use them in episode 323 of Stamp Together Saturday. They're the Simply leaves, and they come in a bundle with a punch. And this makes it really nice and easy for you to do some stamping and then punching out, and it's really quick. Now, the plaid, not so much quickness, although it doesn't take a whole lot of time because it is just a small, easy, fussy cut. But that one I did, I stamped with this stamp and I fussy cut it out. I am having a hard time using these leaves without that, without this. I don't know. It is, the plaid is, just, it speaks to me. All right. So we've got the leaves ready. I stamped them in. This one has a crumb cake background with a pecan pie vein, and these are pecan pie as well. How do you say pecan? 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 There are different ways to say it. All right, our machine is ready. So let me bring this out so you can see the process. Next up, we need to add our die. And this time, we are going to use the Flourish and Frames hot foil dies. And we're going to talk about these in a little bit, but first, I'm going to get that heating. So you put it ridge side up on the heat, and then you push the timer button, and now the die is heating up. So we will wait for that now. It is a process, but it's worth it. So here we've got two types of dies in here. The hot foil dies are much more thick, and you can just see kind of the, I've used the word clunky a couple of times, but you can see the clunky part of it here on these dies. It's maybe not quite as shiny also, so it's a little more dull of a die. And then over here you can see this set also comes with cutting dies that you can use to cut these out. So we're going to do that. So these right here and this one here are the ones that cut. All of the rest of these are hot foil dies. And so, gosh, there's going to be a ton of playing to be done with these. But for now, I'm just going to show you the frames and how simple they are to foil. We're doing it on our very vanilla piece, and it will be done soon. So I'm going to get this up and ready to roll. You need your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then when this is done, which it is now, you will need the hot foil shim, which comes with this, as well as the hot foil spacer. So we will start with our foil. So earlier I said we have gold, silver, and rose gold. And I'm just going to release as much foil as we need for this die. So I'm just going to hold it over the die, figure out how much I need, and then cut it off. And I'm going to show you after that you probably want to save the foil after you're done cutting this die, because there's going to be kind of a lot left. All right, so if you're worried about the order in which to do things, there is a really helpful brochure that comes with your hot foil machine. And on the back, when it's time, when it's hot and ready, build your sandwich by placing the items on the die in this order. So foil, shiny side down, and I'm not going to pull it out right now because I need this machine here too. Cardstock, that's this. And then hot foil shim and hot foil spacer, which are these pieces here. So now we're going to unplug the machine. So we've got the foil and the cardstock, hot foil shim, goes on top of that, and the hot foil spacer on top of that. And then as we take our way through, we're just going to slowly crank it through. It's meant to go slowly because you want that foil to bond from the heat to the cardstock. Okay, once you're all the way through, I'm gonna bring the silicone pad over, and then we're going to magically check this out just by slowly peeling it back and seeing the gold foil in action. Ooh, so pretty, so pretty. So now, as you see, there is a lot of foil left. So I definitely would hold on to those pieces. And my plan right now, until I have a better one, is just to wrap it back over the roll before putting it. I'm going to store them right in this box for now. I'm not going to be hasty at trying to start a storage process that I'm not going to like. I want to wait and see what I see before making that decision. So I'm putting it right back into the box. This is hot. So the machine comes with this magnetic wand thingy, and then the silicone plate, and then you press the button to release, and it can sit there and cool off while I am creating here. So we're going to do a switcheroo here. We're going to put this back over off camera, as well as my shim and my other plate there. And then we can take a closer peek at this amazing gold. There we go. Now you see the gold foil there. It is so pretty. Pretty. And easy. And the process is just right there on the insert. And now we just have to cut this out. So remember, there is a die that coordinates. So I'm going to pull this out, pull the largest regular die. Remember, it's not a hot foil die. It's a little bit shiny. It's got one blade. It's easy to tell the difference. And it cuts out this image perfectly. Now, there are a lot of dies besides the frames in, I have to add the number 2. I forgot. And I just want to double check. I think I'm okay here yet, but I'm just gonna be a little picky. And you can use sticky note or washi tape, whatever it is that you usually use. But there are a lot of dies that come with this that you could play around with, and I'm going to show you here. So here we've got our label with our gold foiling. I think about wedding invitations and just fancier things that you can do with that hot foil. And let me tell you, the number of dies that we're starting out with on Friday when you go to place your order, there are so many. When I went there, I'm like, okay, I need to start small. Like, what am I going to start with? Well, frames and sentiments seemed like a really good idea. But I want everything because they're all so pretty. All right, so if we pull these out, you can see, where are my other ones? You can see lots of hot foil options here that could be fun. You could do cool hot foil decorations on each side here. You know, there are all these different things to play with. So to be honest, I've only scratched the surface. demonstrators have been able to have these for a few weeks, but I honestly didn't think the customer release would come so quickly. And so I wasn't quick on the uptake as far as creating samples. So here we are. So here's why I kind of wish I would have done gold in the background, and I wasn't, in my haste of pulling colors, I just thought the copper was going to look good, which it does. Gold might have been a little bit more cohesive, but I'm just going to pop up my label on here now. So what do you think of the hot foil? Is this the first time you've seen our system used? Have you seen other demonstrators use it last night and today? Or yesterday and today? We just got word yesterday that we could share. So I'm like, perfect. I will design one of my cards around using the hot foil system and the embossing folder at the same time. All right, so I don't know, I don't know if it's straight or not, but now we're going to take our leaves, and somewhere I have that plaid one. I was so excited about the plaid one, and now it's disappeared. But we're going to take these leaves and we're going to situate them, and I will leave space for my plaid because it's here somewhere. But we're just going to add our leaves, and you can kind of decide how they're going to sit. Something like this. And then we'll have the plaid one in there too. So I'm going to start with this one. I don't know where that thing went. I just showed it to you and I was like, I can't do a card without the plaid, and now it's gone. There's been a lot of moving stuff around, so it's here somewhere. Jessie says it's on her wish list. Price point of the labels and machine. You're going to be around $200, maybe a teeny bit more. I think price point for the machine itself is $160, I believe. And then, of course, you earn your rewards points and can use those rewards to maybe get other dies and things like that. I think I'm going to stick that plaid one right under here. And then we just need to figure out where we're going to put our sentiment. So it's an investment, of course. And I'm going to do just a little hello, and that's going to go right down here. But man, has it been fun to play with. The other thing I want to note is, there are two things. The first of which is you get a free class if you order this calendar year. So you will be invited to a Facebook group where you will get a free class with your purchase. So that's kind of nice because it gets you, Stampin' Up! Is running that class, and it'll give you an opportunity to learn from them, as well as me when I'm sharing it here. So, there are some options of learning here. And then the second thing I wanted to point out is that if you would purchase this hot foil system, I'm using some basic beige ribbon right now to tie a bow. It would be a great starter option for your starter kit if you join Stampin' Up. We have a new sign up process now where you can spend more than your $125, and this would be a great way to get you started as a demonstrator, because it can be on your first order and you can go over the $125. So you'll spend $99. You'll get a coupon code to shop and get $125 with that coupon code. And then you can also, oh, here it is. And then you can go over, and whatever you go over counts towards your first quarterly minimum. So this is a great, oh my goodness, if I were not a demonstrator, this would be, for me, a great way to start, because I could get it as part of my starter kit. And plus, the beginning of my quarter, my first quarter. So if you have any more questions about that, let me know, because it's really a great way to go. All right, so here is my card. What do you think, friends? Didn't it turn out pretty with a little, and then the basic beige ribbon really goes well with the very vanilla. And then just our little foiled, just a little hello there as well. So pretty. And I want to shout out to Virginia Kilmore. My inspiration piece is here, and I went here with it. So thanks, Virginia, for that. We have one more quick card and one more technique to do. I know it is, time is short because we had to use the foil machine, my friends. We had to. Card parts, dies, stamps, everything. Yes, Cindy, I'm your soul sister on that. The struggle is real, friends. And yes, perimenopause is to blame. Okay, so for this card, we are using some of our new, I'm not even going to try to reach for the name of this, some of our new designer series paper, and we're going to emboss 1 3/4 inch squares in our candy cane folder. Just going to put them in there. I should have had this done in advance. Sorry about that. I was just so worried about making sure my foil system was ready. And now I have to worry about where all my stuff is. Okay, so we're going to emboss. And just 1 3/4 inch squares of 2 pieces of the DSP, and 1 3/4 inch squares, 2 pieces of real red cardstock. And let me tell you right now, I had the best idea, but I couldn't follow through because I didn't have the product. I love doing like embossing on 2-tone cardstock and then using a sanding block to expose the white center. Think of that with candy canes. I am so excited to try this, but I didn't have any real red, 2-tone cardstock. But it'd be perfect because if you took the sanding block there, it would expose the white, and then you'd have red and white. Ah! I was so sad I didn't have that. Okay, but what I am going to do is I'm going to show you. You can use our white ink pad to help get those white stripes. And I'm just going to bring in a clean piece here. So there are a couple different ways you can tackle this, and I'm gonna actually tackle it with a sponge dauber. Words, Amy, words. So I'm gonna ink up with my white ink pad, and then I'm just going to run it over the raised areas of my folder, of my piece of cardstock. And it's okay if you get some on the outside. That's not a big deal. And then we'll finish out that one. And we'll do the other square as well. So, finish this up. I just heard my girls come in the house. That'd be my daughter and daughter-in-law. So it makes me really want to hurry. They went thrifting today and invited me along, and I said, I have my extra long live today, so it's not going to work. But we'll be done shortly. All right, so we're just going to give that a little bit of white. Hi, Kathy. Great to see you popping on today. And then we're going to take this white piece, which is 4x4, and we're just going to add our pieces of paper. And I'm going to be careful here, making sure to space these appropriately. But I was thinking, oh, how fun would it be to have that two-tone cardstock and be able to just sand those down. Oh, I love that idea so much. So in the inspiration card I showed you here, that's what Virginia did with the leaves. She did the two-tone cardstock with the sanding block. And I think that looks really, really pretty. All right, so I'm going to just quickly, I'm not going to totally finish, okay? So I'll finish off camera, and you can look for this on my blog coming up tomorrow. You'll be able to see all of these samples on my blog tomorrow. And if you're lucky, or if I'm lucky, I will get some samples done with the pieces that I didn't plan to make. But look at how fun! Ugh. And easy. So easy with just a little bit of white ink. And then we're going to add this. Oh, we're going to add those with dimensionals. And then we'll also add a sentiment. I will finish that off camera because time is of the essence and I have loved ones upstairs. So, all right, I'm going to flip the camera. Oh, holy moly. If you have been here the whole time, we started at 1 o'clock today, 1 o'clock Central, and we created, and the focus was the mini embossing folders. But don't be mistaken, we had a lot of fun with the hot foil as well. So watch for hot foil to be available to customers starting Friday at midnight, Mountain Time. And get your hands on it because they have told us that the lead time is a little bit longer. So when we run out, it might take a little bit longer to get it in again. They've already reordered from the demonstrator pre-order, and they say it takes a couple of months or maybe 3 to get it in. So if it runs out in July or early August, we will switch gears for What's Up Stampers Plus. But if it is still available, I will be doing a 1-hour What's Up Stampers Plus on just the hot foil system. So look forward to that at some point, either in August or sometime in the future when it comes back in stock. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've missed a bunch of it, go back and watch. We covered a lot, and I mean a lot. All right, I will see you again on Saturday morning. I will be pre-recorded because I have a family reunion to go to. So pre-recorded Saturday, but the card is going to be fantastic. So come and watch, 9:30 a.m. Central. I'll see you soon, everybody.